Right, in the house.
So we do. We have a new moon coming up. We've got the sun going into the sign of Aquarius. And wherever the sun changes signs, that's where your attention is focused for about a month or so. It's where you want to put the majority of your effort. So I thought I would go through all 12 signs. Starting with Aquarians, interesting. It is all about the Aquarian. It's about the Aquarian getting what they want, what they need. Although they're not going to be upfront and direct about it because Mercury is still in their 12th house. They're going to be a little bit more behind the scenes doing it, which still makes me think Jeb Bush is going to do something with the election. But for Aquarians, they want to put forth their particular agenda instead of anybody else's, and now they're kind of blatant about it. For Pisces, this is a rough time for them. It's the end of their solar year. They're out of energy. They have no vitality. They are running out of steam. Rick Perry found that out. Mitt Romney's probably going to take a step back because when the planets are in your 12th house, you can't really start new projects. It's all you can do to finish up old ones rather than going forward. So to Pisces, I say, finish all your other projects up before you go starting new ones. For Aries, it's in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And Aries need to join a group effort or a team effort. And Aries are normally the I, me sign. They're not really team players. So the Aries has to convince himself that the team is acting for the Aries behalf.
Okay.
But they will get a lot further doing a group effort than they will doing some kind of an individual effort. For Tauruses, this is in their 10th house of career and public standing. So the Taurus is doing something to promote their career, what it is that they do, their professional wants and needs are the ones they are trying to address. And with Jupiter being in their sign, they should really make some decent headway over the next 3 or 4 weeks or so to really establishing their professional aspirations and getting a good response with it.
Okay.
For Geminis, it's in their 9th house of the law. Legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance, legal matters in particular, are quite favorable for Geminis, not only for the outcome to a Gemini, but for Geminis initiating that kind of thing. And they've had legal matters that haven't moved off dead center, and it's time for those things to go forward very quickly so you can resolve them in the next 2 or 3 months. For Cancers, it's in their 8th house of other people's money flows their way. Which is a very cool thing because the United States is a Cancer, and to have more money released into the economy would be a really good thing. And I think that that's part of the machinations going towards a presidency thing, that we're looking at happier days or the illusion of happier days. But if you're a Cancer and you've been waiting for some kind of word about money, about resources, it actually comes in the next 4 weeks or so.
Good.
Which is, I think, good news. It also means interest rates won't go up. For Leos, it is in their 7th house of partnerships. They are going to partner up with somebody. The Leo can do it by themselves, but if they bring somebody else on board, it's a synergistic effect that those two together would be better than either one of them would be apart. And sometimes it's the sign of somebody a little bit older or a little bit more experienced for the Leo. And single Leos are really looking to do something with their partnerships. And married ones go, yes, dear. For Virgos, yeah, that's always the best answer anyway, though.
Betcha.
Yeah, generally. For Virgos, it's in their 6th house of work, and Virgos are trying very hard to not reestablish. Since November, they've been working on expanding their sphere of influence at work, and some kind of obstacle that had been in their way gets out of the Virgos' way. It's not a promotion. It's not an increase in responsibility. It's just a much clearer career path for the Virgo. Which I think is cool, and they need to take advantage of third millennium technology and learn how to work smarter, not harder. For Libras, they want to have fun. Time for Libras to turn their attention to their love life, to the things that are fun in their life, the things that they have a good time with. They've kind of been sticking pretty close to home over the last 4 weeks or so. I don't know whether it was licking their wounds or just recovering from an active holiday season, but they're ready to dip their toe back into the love waters. And to really enjoy it. For Scorpios, in their 4th house of home and foundations, and they need to shore up over the next 4 weeks their home foundation. They put a lot of things in motion, thinking that home is going to be there to support them, and they need to pay a little bit of attention to that. Refurbishing, remodeling, and just remember, when you start a project like that, it goes forever. Every wall you paint, the one next to it looks like it needs paint too. For Sagittarians, the pace of their day-to-day living picks up. They've got more places to be than time in the day to be at them in. So they need to really budget their time wisely. And they get to do some sort of certification or some kind of credentialing that's like getting an education, but rather than a bachelor's or a master's degree, it's much more of a certification that will give them a better handle at work. And then for Capricorns, the last sign, it's about the money, and it's earned income for Capricorns. So Capricorns everywhere can rejoice, because if they don't have a job, they will get a job. If they have a job, they actually get the pay raise or the amount of money they thought they were going to get. So for Capricorns, you know, financially, it's a pretty good time. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac.
Well, thank you, ma'am, for the update.
Always a pleasure.
Look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll do it again.